Yay!
Maria.
Ave Maria.
All right, we are alive. Let me go ahead and stop that music.
I memorized.
Hello, everybody.
Sorry.
We see. I see Obsidian, Phoenix, and Chiru in chat here.
Whoop.
So welcome to tonight's live stream. And anybody else who's watching on other channels, Twitch, hello. YouTube,
MySpace.
we're also there. I'm full of milk chocolate, and I'm drinking a nice French Bordeaux.
Chianti.
It's actually not very nice. It's pretty cheap.
With some fava beans.
Mm-hmm. But I just had a taste for some vino, so I busted open a bottle.
You bust it?
Yum yummers. And as you might see, it's Brian and I currently. And so Matt will be joining us a bit late. And at that time, we will begin our usual Case 14 live stream and playthrough. But in the meantime, we got some time to kill. And I thought it would be fun to have Brian play Alone Against the Flames. And this is...
torture.
What's that?
I said I'm into torture.
Torture you? Yeah.
Where's the candle?
So I'm sure most of you know that this is basically a kind of choose-your-own-adventure scenario meant for one player. But so I'll be acting as the narrator and keeper. And Brian has access to a character sheet, an investigator that he can play. And as you know, this takes place in the 1920s. And we're just going to see how far we get. We don't know when Matt is supposed to be on, so we're going to just see what we can accomplish.
Hey, Matt.
In the meantime, give you guys something to watch and play through, and hopefully enjoy. Jeremy in my cave. Yeah, this is my cave. I actually got color on today, so I could show off my Hunky Boys t-shirt. Just like a Borman in the hizzy. Okay, Brian, you ready?
Sure.
Sure. So this is Alone Against the Flames. I can't remember if this is free or not. I picked it up a while ago, so it might be, if anything else, just cheap. So, all right, here we go. Chapter 1. The sun is high in the sky, a merciless ball of heat. You feel scorched by the time you reach the bus halt in front of Osborne's drugstore. A bus halt's like a bus stop in the 1920s.
What's a drugstore?
I don't know. It's is it Harry Osborne's drugstore? It's a relief to put down your heavy cases and take off your hat for a moment. You fan your face, like they do in the 1920s. Hello, everybody. It has been a long summer here in your hometown, and yet a curiously empty one. You look across the street at the grubby butcher's shop, the grocer's with its faded awning, and the shabby tobacconist. Mistrustful faces glare at you as they pass, eyeing your clothes and luggage. It was your parents' choice to live here, not yours. You were happy down south as a child, among Providence's white-walled houses and leafy churchyards. Perhaps this new job in Arkham will supply the change you need. Yet, everybody you know in the world lives here. You know nobody in Arkham, not one soul. You ask yourself one last time if you are doing the right thing. The answer is here. None of your supposed friends have come to see you off. You are alone. Whatever challenges lie in Arkham, it will be a new life, and a brave one. A small gray motor coach approaches and rattles to a stop. You put your hat back on and pick up your cases. Go to 263. Zoom, 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 zoom. All the way down. It's like, you sons of bitches make me scroll.
I didn't choose that adventure.
Two young men with sullen expressions alight from the coach. One looks you up and down before heading away. The driver also steps down, glancing at you before crossing the road to visit the tobacconist. When he returns, he is rolling a cigarette between his yellowed fingers.
Ooh.
He gives it a final twist and examines you as he reaches for his matchbox. He is a thin man in his 50s, dressed in a stained shirt with the bus company album. Yet his eyes are sharp in their dark sockets. Where to? You show him your ticket for Ossipee. From there, you will connect to Rochester and Portsmouth before the coastal line to Newburyport and finally Arkham. You should be able to afford a rail ticket for at least some of the way. Otherwise, this will be the first of many long bus trips. The driver scratches the match and lights his cigarette. The end flares as he takes a draw. Then he exhales and gestures to the back of the coach. Luggage rack's up there. Look at your investigator sheet. At the top, you have spaces for 8 characteristics, as we all know. Allocate the following values among them, writing in the large square beside each. So you get a 40, 3 50s, 2 60s, a 70, and an 80. So you get to distribute those how you want. You want a strong person, give the 80 to the strength.
What if I want a strong person with dexterity? What should I put in the dexterity?
And let me know what you're done, or let me know how you allocate those.
All right. How many 60s?
You have 2 60s, 3 50s.
And 170 and 180?
Yep. And 140.
140?
140? That's huge.
Why, you oughta. Okay.
All right, so it looks like you got...
I made it difficult.
Oh, yeah. Strength 80, dexterity 70, power 60, con 60, at 50, education 40, size 50, and intelligence 50. So you're obviously more strength and agile. So
I can move 9 times as well.
Nice. When you do that, go to 8. So we're going to pop back up to 8.
Huh?
The driver smokes and watches as you drag your cases to the back of the motor coach. The rack is set inconveniently high on the vehicle. You get a grip on the heavier case. If your size is 40, what is your size currently?
50.
50. So we're going to go to page 38. Because you're higher
from
than
2?
40.
Or from 8?
Yeah, trust me, this bebops all around. What did I say, 32? No, 30. You fucking...
Sorry.
Quit talking. You with the talking. 38.
You will play this game
So
when
we're
I tell
going
you
from
to play
8
this game.
38, exactly. All right, 38. Here we go. The driver continues to enjoy his cigarette, watching with keen interest as you struggle with the cases. You grit your teeth and heave the second one into place. Perhaps the residents of Arkham will have better manners. Go to 233.
All right.
Okay. The driver flicks his cigarette into the gutter and steps into the motor coach. Its engine coughs into life. You board, grateful that you will be the only passenger for the initial part of your trip at least. With mixed emotions, you watch from the window as the tired avenues of your old home slip behind you, receding into the distance. For a few minutes, you can still see the church spire over the brow of a low hill. Then the road dips and it too is gone. Arkham is your new home. You will travel there and make a new start. You will see 2 smaller boxes to the right of each characteristic value. Don't worry about this. They're basically telling you like what's going to be a normal success, hard success, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. You will see tracks that record sanity and magic. Beginning sanity is equal to your original POW. And beginning magic points are the same as the value you've just assigned for POW divided by 5. Mark these on the tracks. So your magic
60?
points is 12.
Yep.
And your current sanity is equal to what would they say? Was it POW or
power? Yep. So 7 or
so
60.
power for both. That's wild. Okay, boom.
City.
So there you go. I have filled those in for you. Pow, pow, pow. Okay.
What about my luck?
Go to 134. Here we go.
Okay.
Whee! Scrolling up, scrolling up. Boom. Okay.
Hit points.
The coach putters through the countryside. At first, the interior is stifling, and your stomach lurches with every bend in the road. However, the driver opens his window, and by switching seats, you find a spot where the breeze hits your face. You soon relax into the journey, observing the quaint little hamlets that the coach serves. A heavy-set woman boards at one settlement and gives you a polite nod. She gets off at the next one. The road rises a little, passing cornfields and orchards. The leaves are turning, and the trees are alive with glorious reds and golds. You have just begun to doze when the driver takes a tight bend at speed. Add your size and con together, then divide the total by 10.
So 110.
So it'd be 11,
Yep.
rounding down. This is the starting value for your hit points, which is right there. So hit points,
Which
you
is
can fill
11.
that in 11, yeah.
So I don't have a current, so should I put dying?
No, put 11 there, please.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yep, okay. You're okay, blah, blah, blah. You also have a luck score. Roll 3-sided dice. We call this 3d6. And that'll be your starting luck. Multiply that by 5.
So
go ahead and roll.
3d6?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Roll, baby, roll.
7.
No, that's d6 plus 3, Bray.
Oh, sorry.
So you want to go
adding.
to the the third column there, d6 and 3. So like that.
How can I see your screen?
So hover over the dice thing. Okay.
Sorry. Uh-huh.
And then you see where it says d6.
Ah, got it.
And you see 3 in the column.
Click on 3.
Yep.
Cool.
Boom. Okay.
6.
So roll the 6. That's a pretty shitty roll, actually.
Yeah, thanks.
6, and you want to roll multiply that by 5, so 30 is your starting luck.
I'd like to spend the luck to get better luck.
Yeah, no kidding. Now you must make a roll against your dex. So go ahead and make a dex roll.
Dexterity.
Yep.
I need
Ooh,
a 70.
hard.
Roll a 34. I'm hard.
Nice. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. If you roll... okay. If you pass the next roll, we're going to go to 261. So you passed it. 261.
Mm-hmm.
Whee! All right. A desperate yell awakens you. You feel yourself slide from the seat as the driver spins the wheel and the motor coach plunges off the road. You grab hold of the seat in front just in time to prevent a painful fall. The coach stops with a thump. Now you see what has happened. A Fordson tractor is stopped in the road, and your driver has had to swerve to avoid this steel obstacle. He leaps from his seat into the road, unleashing a string of curses at the farmer. I assume that's what it is. You take a moment to catch your breath. Perhaps you should offer assistance? But the driver has already returned. He backs the coach up a little and threads it around the tractor, glaring at the farmer. Go to 71. 71, all right. You resume your journey. The driver takes the curves with more caution than before. He glances over his shoulder at you a couple times. Sorry about before, he says. That fellow is dumber than a hog. I'm Silas. What's your name? The accident was at least as much Silas's fault as the farmer's, but it doesn't seem shrewd to antagonize the man while he is driving you through the middle of nowhere. Make up a name for your character and record it on your investigator sheet. You may add your age for the purpose of this adventure. Your character should probably be aged between 23 and 36. So go ahead and do that now and tell us what your name is.
Okay. My name's Frank Drebin, and I'm 26 years old.
26. All right.
Yeah, over the hill, pretty much in the 20s.
Pretty much dead, yeah. You're
Mhm.
1 foot in the grave here.
Should have had a wife when I was 19.
The coach turns onto a narrower road which weaves uphill through woodland. Silas becomes chatty. Going to Arkham, huh? Can't say I ever heard of the place. Went to Boston once. Didn't like it. Too much hustle and bustle.
Yeah, huh?
You got family there? A special someone waiting? The afternoon is wearing on. You see no harm in confiding in Silas about your new life. A job, huh? What's your line? Choose an occupation for your character from the following options. If you are, well, we can basically say, you can be an antiquarian,
Ooh.
a doctor of medicine,
Okay.
a journalist, a private investigator, or a professor. Those are the five that you're going to.
Oof. I don't know if I'm smart enough for any of those.
Yeah, I think really probably the only one that you would be
A
is
journalist.
journalist or
Not that they're not smart.
or private investigator, I think.
Yeah.
Certainly not a doctor of medicine.
No. Private
Probably
investigator.
not a professor, and not an antiquarian. So, okay, so you're going to go private investigator. So we're going to go to 249. Wee, 249 is way down here. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. You skirt around the details of your profession in your usual way, mentioning only that you have helped the police to clear up various problems in the past. Your heart pounds a little faster as you think of the post you have secured at the Blackwood Detective Agency.
Ooh.
You've had enough of investigating marital infidelity and bank clerks on the take. It sounds like the Blackwood Agency is just the opportunity you need to cut your teeth on some real villainy. Silas narrows his eyes, but he says nothing. Your credit rating skill is 20%. Plug that in, please.
My investigating skill?
Your credit rating skill.
Oh, credit rating skill.
Yes. 20%. Got it?
Nope.
Was that a yeah?
No, it was a no.
Can you find it?
No.
It's alphabetical B.
Oh, it's under. Okay, my bad.
Yep. Credit rating. 20 there. Okay. Now this is going to be good. All right. So what you want to do is go ahead and mark. Actually, I'll do this for you just to make it a little easier for you. Move this over here real quick. All right, I'm going to make some check marks, okay?
Cool.
Disguise. Law. Spot hidden. And library use.
Cool.
Psychology. And would you prefer charm, fast talk, intimidate, or persuade?
Ooh.
And knowing that you're a big burly guy.
Yeah, probably intimidate.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Okay. So what you want to do is allocate, change the values next to these. You need to plug in some more numbers, okay?
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to do 170.
170?
260s, 350s, and 240s.
Okay.
Okay? And then as you allocate them, uncheck those boxes. So if you want disguise to be 70%, you can plug that in next to it and then uncheck it. Okay?
Ugh.
And you're just going to write over what you have there currently.
Yeah, I can't see my keyboard. This microphone cover is so
I can't
big.
help you with that.
I know.
But thanks for sharing.
I'm not Sharon. My name is Brian.
Thanks, Sharon Stone.
Frank.
Frank Drebin Sharon Stone.
Yeah, baby. Oh, I hear that.
No chimney sweep. Maybe later. I don't know. I guess Alone Against the Flames might make sense for a chimney sweep.
Chimney.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo.
I'm not chimney sweep.
I'm
How
drinking
about
wine
you?
just like I'm Dick Van Dyke.
All right. And you said 240s?
I believe so. Two
So
forties,
I'm
yes.
short one checked mark.
Uh,
170, 260s, 350s, correct?
Yep. So let me see here.
50, 60, 60.
Art and craft photography. Sorry about that. So that would
Okay.
be over here. Art, craft, photography. Ah, there you go.
Oh, okay. So that's a 40.
Photography.
And then this would be a 40. But then I think I still have 150 left to put in somewhere.
I see
Wait, one,
1, 2.
two.
Yeah, you need a 50. Is that disguised because you didn't uncheck that?
Oh, sorry. No, that's a 40. My bad.
Okay.
That was my last one, so I'm
All
still
right, so I
missing
got
my...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, you may also pick any other skill except Cthulhu Mythos as a
Oh,
personal
okay.
specialty. So
Cool.
you can plug that in. Pick
Okay.
whatever you want.
Got it.
Photography. Or is it like fake? Faux.
It's photography, Junior.
Photography.
From Canada.
Photography. Photography. All of those
I
things.
think I'll do this.
Do this.
I put it in handgun.
Handgun. Okay. Firearms. handgun.
Actually, I'm going to change that. Sorry, I'm going to put it in brawl. Because I probably wouldn't have a handgun.
Gotcha. You
And
can
that
change
was a
firearms
20.
back to a 20.
Yep.
Yep, you got it. Cool. All right.
Cool.
Then go to 128. So we're good there. Heading up, heading up. Oh, Frank Drebin's on the case. You realize Silas hasn't made a stop since the incident with the tractor. The motor coach winds its way uphill. However, your thoughts are interrupted as the road crests a ridge and you are treated to a magnificent view of the vista below.
Ooh.
A creek snakes through the valley, breaking the rich autumn palette of the tree line. In the distance, the white mountains rise into hazy cloud. There is no settlement, not even a cabin as far as the eye can see. Birds drift through the treetops, and you can just make out what might be two white-tailed deer lingering by the water.
Huh.
Perhaps you are making a mistake by moving to the city. Could you survive on your own in this lush wilderness? You have a base ability in most skills, listed in brackets after the skill name. On the investigator sheet, for instance, you have 20% climb and a base dodge equal to half your dex. Choose 4 skills which are not your occupation skills and not Cthulhu Mythos. Those are your personal interest skills. Boost each of those by 20, so add 20 to whatever's currently there.
Cool.
So whatever interests you.
Yeah.
What might be fun? And maybe even use the text that I read as clues.
Oops. How many of those? Sorry.
4, I believe I said.
Okay.
4.
Cool.
And let us know what you've boosted, which skills.
Sure. Oh, occult.
Occult, okay.
Charm.
Charm, okay. So charm is 35, yeah.
And listen. And then I think I have one more, correct?
One more to go, yep.
All right. Should probably have stealth, so I'll do stealth.
All right.
Being a private investigator, I'm like, hey, guys.
Right. Exactly. Okay. At this point, you may like to calculate half and for now. We don't want to do that. Leave all the math. Blah blah blah. Now we'll go to 144. So we're gonna boost on here.
144.
144. The motor coach. I always hate that motor coach rattles on through the hills, and Silas lapses into silence, as is his name. The sky darkens behind you, pinks tinting the clouds as the sun descends. Finally, a welcome sight comes into view, a settlement on the crest of a hill. This doesn't look like the pictures you've seen of Ossipee, but perhaps you can persuade Silas to stop while you stretch your legs. Minutes later, a harsh stuttering from the engine interrupts your reverie. Silas frowns and rattles the gear stick. The motor coach falters in its ascent. Silas utters a curse you don't recognize and grinds his teeth, struggling at the wheel. You seem to inch up the hill until you reach the first buildings, low dwellings constructed from a rough red stone. Silas wrestles the coach into a small bay off the road. He scrambles from his seat and makes for the engine compartment. You must now choose to make a roll against either drive auto or psychology.
Jesus. Okay, psychology, of course.
If you choose drive auto, you need to roll equal to or less than the skill value. If you choose psychology, you need a hard success.
Okay. I don't know how to do that math. Which one's better?
Well, I mean, psychology's more difficult to attain.
Right.
So you have 50, so you would need a 25 or less.
Okay.
Drive auto would be a 20 or less.
Right.
So
the odds are in my favor to do psychology.
May the odds be ever in your favor.
So, ready for a full 100 roll?
Let's do it.
Boop. I needed a 50. I rolled a 77. Mm-hmm. That is a fail.
All right. If you fail, go to 194. So we're going to 194. This is probably where you'll die.
Cool.
It would be funny. I've never played this, so I'm not sure. Silas opens the engine compartment. There's a typo here. Silas opens the engine compartment open and sticks his head inside.
Inside.
Fan belt's still going. The hot metal pops and sizzles. He pokes at various components, then withdraws and wipes his brow, smearing it with dark grease. I ain't sure what's wrong. Might be the oil pressure. Might be something knocked off kilter when we took that spill. Can't do much until the engine cools, neither. And with the light failing, I reckon we'll be here for the night. He wipes his hand on a rag. A rag.
But not his forehead.
No. And then he wipes the rag on his forehead. The shadows from your surroundings are already long, and the air is chilly. Chilly. You feel stiff from the journey, and a night in the rickety coach sounds unappealing. Silas sees your dismay. This here's Emberhead, miles from any place. I only come through twice a week, but the folks here are good people. May Ledbetter keeps a spare room. She'll look after you. Up that alley, turn right, first house on the left. Okay. He scratches his cheek, looks again into the engine compartment, and spits on the ground.
It's a pile of jelly.
Meet me back here at 8 in the morning and we'll see how we stand. To look for May Ledbetter's house, so you have the option. You can go look for May Ledbetter's house. You can ask Silas where he'll spend the night. Or you can challenge him about the breakdown.
It's obviously broken down because he crashed it.
You son of a bitch. So what would you like to do?
Ask him where he's going to stay.
Okay. So we'll go to 251.
Where you staying, punk?
Where are you going to sleep?
And I spit on his spit to claim it as my own.
Got room for 2. Hey, Silas.
Or 3, if May is available.
Oof. You ask about Silas's plans. He gives the engine a sour glance before answering. I got acquaintances here in the village. Reckon one of them owes me a favor. Enough for bed and breakfast in any case. He stares at his grubby hands. Probably won't stretch to a hot bath. You don't seem to have a lot of options. You fetch your cases from the back of the motor coach. The last thing you need is for all your worldly possessions to disappear into some stranger's hovel overnight. Go to 267. Bing.
You've
Please
got mail.
Turn the page. You drag your cases between the sullen buildings.
Euphemism.
What?
I said that's a euphemism.
Sullen. Drag your cases, baby.
Uh-huh.
You feel surprisingly weary, considering you have spent all day sitting down on your fat ass. Silas's directions lead you to a modest dwelling with a slate roof. A nameplate reads, Ledbetter. And underneath, a sign in neat copper plate reads, Lodging Room. The lane around you is gloomy, but a lamp flickers in the window. A breeze chills your face. You're not about to begin your new life by sleeping in the street. You rap on the weather-beaten door. Go ahead, Bright Rap.
I would like to come in now. This is the first Motel 6. Oh, how?
Leave the light on for you.
Yeah, in the window.
And the lamp. All right. After a moment, you hear footsteps inside the house. A bolt is drawn back and the wooden door swings open.
They shoot me with a bolt.
A figure with loose curls and a rough-looking house dress peers at you. Her gaze takes in your traveling suit and your cases. Her voice has a slight Irish lilt. Hello. Should I take it as you're looking for a room for the night?
Yes,
Hi.
We'd like to insult everybody from your country.
Are inside. You inquire as to her rates, suppressing a grimace.
What's your rates, baby?
Goodness.
I'm suppressing a grimace in my bag.
As far
Get
as
down,
as far as
you.
you've seen, the village does not offer you many alternatives. Oh, you'll find them very reasonable, she says. You look tired.
The alternatives?
I may. Come inside and we'll talk over a cup of tea. The Ledbetter house. What about May? The Ledbetter house feels cramped with a low ceiling and simple fittings. But
Simps.
it is well kept and a cheerful fire crackles in the grate. The aroma of the tea is soothing and the cup warms your fingers. Have you come to Emberhead for the festival? Asks May. To explain what happened with Silas in the coach, go to 14. To ask about the festival, go to 21.
21.
So you're going to explain what happened with Silas in the coach, or you're going to ask about the festival?
I want to ask about the festival.
All right.
I guess I should answer her, though. Shouldn't I just go right past?
You have the option to do what you want, baby.
Why are you here? What is your festival? Yeah, I'll ask about the festival.
All right. So we're going to 21.
Pretty one-dimensional.
Here we go. One-dimensional. Well, now, I suppose the festival is about the only reason folks come to Emberhead. I thought you had Nope, that's not it. I thought you had maybe come to study it or take photographs. Well, it's not tomorrow night, but the night after. I suppose it looks very strange to a passerby. May tops up your tea. The spout chinks against your cup. We've got the beacon, you see. One night every year there's a torchlit procession, and we light the beacon on the cliffs. You've never seen the like of it. They say it keeps the spirit of the village alive for another year. It's a celebration, She tails, I think it's supposed to be trails. She trails off for a moment and blinks. But you didn't come here to listen to me blather, and you must be hungry. I can rustle you up a bit of stew. How would that be?
I elbow her and say, Gondor calls for aid.
Gondor. You ask again about her rates, and May names a price so low, you accept it without hesitation. The room is small but comfortable, and the stew dark and hearty. After dinner, you have a couple of hours before your usual bedtime.
Ooh.
You can either talk to May some more, walk around and get your bearings, or turn in for an early night?
I'll walk around and get some bearings.
All right,
I
ball
like
bearings.
little balls. Get your bearings here.
Get your ball bearings. Come and get your ball bearings for the festival. All right, 75.
Not tomorrow, but the next morrow.
May's brow creases when you announce your intention to take a stroll. Mind how you go, she says. Emberhead's surrounded by cliffs, and we don't have your fancy street lamps here.
Oh.
Take the lantern and watch your step. Outside, you see what she means.
I take
The
the
sky... What's that? Oh, yeah,
I took the lantern.
Nice. The sky is overcast, and only a few glimmers of moonlight peek from the clouds. Without the heavy lantern, you would be walking in near total darkness. You cannot hope to get an overview of the village tonight. Maze Street is a narrow passage hemmed in by squat, dark dwellings. At the end, however, it opens up. A wide thoroughfare leads off to your right. A crude sign names it Silbury Street. To the left, a few yards away, your light picks out the crooked posts of a simple fence, and beyond that, the ground drops away into darkness. You take a couple of steps closer, but you can see nothing. Air from below cools your face. Then, some instinct makes you look around. Go to 86. An ink-black figure stands in the road, about 20 yards behind you. It's Chiru. No. Son of a bitch! Run!
Where's the cliff?
It stares at you. You form the sudden impression that it will run at you and throw you over the cliff edge.
Ooh.
This is unsettling. Seeing it has been spotted, the figure slips down an alley. You may either return to the safety of the Ledbetter house or confront the dark figure.
Confront it. Come on. Forget about
Death
it.
Wish 121. Here we go. Let's see what happens.
Is that what the page is called? Death Wish.
Oh, okay. Here we go. As you approach, the figure takes a pace back, then another. It slips down an alley between two buildings. To catch your target, you must make a track roll.
Oh, great. I've got this. I needed a 10. I rolled a 50. I walked into the wall that starts the alley.
If you fail, go to 130. All right. The figure moves fast, with almost silent steps. You are hampered with a heavy lantern in an unfamiliar environment. You emerge from the alley into a dusty courtyard and can detect no sign of your quarry. You scratch around for a few minutes, but the figure is gone. It seems unwise to continue your stroll through unknown dark streets while this threatening presence is abroad. You head back to the Ledbetter house. May lets you in and settles back in her chair. Soon she begins to yawn. I believe I'll turn in. When would you like your breakfast? Go to 63.
Well, I've got to be on the road by 8 o'clock, so if you could get my breakfast done by 7, it'd be great.
Ah, Lord and Begora.
I'm a role player.
Here we go. 63. All right. As May stands, you hear a clunk behind you. You look over your shoulder, but all you can see is a wooden door securely closed. May tuts. The young lady of the house. She'll have been listening to us. Ruth, come and greet our guest. There's a short pause, and then the door creaks open. Two wide eyes peer at you from the gap between tousled hair and a rough nightgown. What do you say? The eyes blink. Pleased to meet you. Now get back to bed. The door closes again. My daughter Ruth. 10 years this summer. She's a delight and a torment all in one. Don't worry. She sleeps in with me. She'll not disturb you. Good night now. You retire to your room. It is a little chilly, but you are too tired to worry about lighting the fire. The sheets are clean and the bed soon warms up. The silence outside is strange after living in a town for so long, but you soon drop off.
I found the clip.
All right, 154. Here we go, Guzzo. You dream of fire in the grate, coruscating colors shimmering through the dancing tongues of flame. At first, they are tiny, almost microscopic, but they grow and grow until a kaleidoscopic inferno fills from the fireplace, spreading across the floor, up the sheets. You wake with a start. Daylight glints through the curtains. You get up and examine the grate, blinking the sleep from your eyes. It is quite cold. If you have taken any damage, you may heal 1 hit point back for your night's sleep, which you didn't. You're good.
I'm taking it.
You probably would have taken some hit points if you hadn't rolled for that crash.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to 166.
City 6.
Yeah. Was that you sniffing?
I don't think so.
I thought I heard you sniff.
Is that what it sounded like?
Yeah.
Oh, you probably heard Mikey running on the hardwood floor.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what the hell?
Click, click, click. Sounds like a sniff
well,
from a
it
distance.
kind of sounded like Matt, and I'm like, well, he's not in the video.
No, he's not on yet.
Weird. All right.
How's that?
That's perfect. All right. May seems to have no running water, but is supplied some in a ceramic jug. Nice. You freshen up at the washstand and go in.
Dip, dip.
She cooks a hearty breakfast and leaves you in peace to eat. At about 7:30, you are paid up, packed, and ready to go. You bid May goodbye, and she wishes you the best for your new career in Arkham.
Nice.
If you succeeded at a skill roll last night and wish to investigate the results further, go to 178. But you did not. No, I think you failed pretty much everything.
I'm a failure.
Yeah, the dex was the only one you did. All right, so we're going to 192. You're already tired of your heavy bags. Hopefully Silas has repaired the motor coach and you can resume your long journey. A sourpuss he might be, but the old driver seemed to understand his vehicle well enough. You pause to check your watch. Still 20 minutes early. And round the final corner.
Yeah.
The motor coach is gone.
What?
You put your bags down and search the area, trekking up and down slopes and around corners. At the edge of the village, you trace the long road back as it winds across the hills. 8 o'clock comes and goes. There is no coach to be seen. A passing villager notices your bags. Looking for the bus. I heard him take off at the first light. He's due back in 3 or 4 days. If you need a place to stay, May Ledbetter rents a room. The man raises his hat to you and strolls on into the village. You curse Silas under your breath. Perhaps he went for parts. But you wonder if the old goat has stranded you here on purpose. I see Matt has entered the chat and
arena.
Now he's entered the video. So we're gonna leave it there. 218 is where we left off with you.
I did a lot of role playing.
Yeah, you did fine. You did fine, buddy.
Can I X out of this character sheet?
Yep,
then?
you can X out of that character sheet. I'm Xing out of the.
Good luck, Matt. I will see you tomorrow.
All right.
Actually, if you don't mind if we take like a 2-minute break, that would be amazing.
Okay, yep, we're going to take a quick break, Matt.
Bye.
Be right back.
Matt's like, God damn it.
Okay, yeah, no, of course everybody leaves. See, this is where it would be the Matt and Gabe show, but it's just the Matt show at the moment. Which arguably is just as good, if not better, than the Matt and Gabe show. Welcome to the Matt Void. For we now host talk shows. All right, everything seems to be rolling. Cool. Did I ever mention that adulting sucks? Don't ever adult. It's a trap. That's my story for the night. Don't ever adult. It's a trap. I want to move to the Star Trek future where money is no longer a thing. Can we do that? Can we just like abolish money? That'd be great. Such a better timeline than this one. So you get to like fly a spaceship and shoot things with lasers and hang out with robots, and you don't have to worry about money. Just don't stare too long into the mat void because bad things happen. And free healthcare, yes. You just walk into the med bay and they're like, there you go. No, I refuse to have anything to do with late stage hellscape capitalism.
Okay.
Hi.
Hello, Matthew. All right, so wait till Brian gets here, and then obviously we did not start the audio recording yet. All right. Drinking vino. There's B.
You're drinking Beano?
Vino. It's good. Makes me not fart.
I didn't know they came in a liquid form.
You need to bottle that, dude. It makes you not fart.
You know, they could be drinking.
Yeah, bottled farts.
G Fuel with speckles.
Oh, no, this is. I'll see if I can get it to focus. This is ramen flavored G Fuel.
Oh,
Specifically,
God.
miso ramen flavored G Fuel.
What is wrong with you?
That's actually not a bad taste.
Were you raised in a barn? Wait.
All right, guys, you got your audio recordings up?
Nope. And recording.
Check.
And recording.
Microphone check. Okay.
Check, check, check.
Oh,
Sounds
God.
good. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Pretty good.
That's usually how it goes.
Pretty
around
good.
here.
Pretty good.
Okay.
Okay.
Get some rare behind the scenes looks.
Yeah.
Gross.
Okay, so we don't have much in the way. The only thing I'll let you guys know that, obviously we're going to hit the ground running here, but this will be a bit of role playing tonight. So not much else is going to be going on, I don't think. But there'll be a few roles here and there, but it's mostly just acting.
So it's
All right.
just play.
We want to thank folks in the chat here for hanging out with us and sticking with us. Hope you enjoyed that quick glance at Alone Against the Flames.
Glad I did
Brian,
well.
did you like that?
It was okay. A little more interaction would be good. I know it's meant for one person to play, but it's a cool story. I definitely would like to be more interactive in it.
Yeah, and it's basically like an intro to Call of Cthulhu.
It's a great way to teach you how to do everything, for sure.
Yep.
That's awesome.
So, and there's a couple more. Alone Against the Ice, I think, is another one. And I own one more, but I can't remember what it is.
Oh, cool.
So, anyways, okay, let's go. We're going to get this rolling. Welcome to the Lovecraft Apes podcast. This is Case 14, Hypnos. I am Jeremy, your keeper of arcane lore, and we play Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu, a role-playing game filled with cosmic horror, existential dread, and a muddy hole in your backyard where last night's storm uprooted the old oak tree, beneath which you long ago buried a secret you thought would never be unearthed, yet now is crawling toward you with vengeance burning bright in the sockets where its eyes once were.
Mr. Pibbles?
Teddy bear.
The gate, too. No. Your investigators of the unknown are Matt as Rocky,
I'm not late. You're early.
True.
Brian as Pippa,
If anybody can keep an eye out for that toad, I really need that hypno toad.
Hypnotoad.
All hail.
Battletoad. You got a Battletoad in your back pocket?
Oh, that'd be cool.
Battletoad's
Not in my
great.
back
No, but I hear
pocket.
there's this pawn shop in Vegas that you can call. They might have it.
Well, as you may have noticed, we are minus Gabe tonight. Obviously, he had some prior commitments, but it didn't matter as far as this story goes. We were able to work around it. So we're going to have another fun time tonight. And welcome back, players. How are you guys doing? I know, Matt, you had to work late tonight. That's always a bitch.
Yeah. I was saying earlier that adulting is a trap and nobody should ever do it.
Yes.
100%. If you can get out of it, do it. Well, you know, guys, I've been thinking about recently Brownie posted a photo on our Discord server. It was a picture of an octopus tentacle served in a hot dog bun. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
But it kind of got me thinking, what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten? And I'll start us off. For me, it was in Grand Rapids Reserve, the chef was known for preparing offal. So it's usually those bits of animal that you would ordinarily pitch in the trash. Mm-hmm. And he made a delicious deep fried pigtail. And you think of pigtail and it's like, oh, it's this cute little thing. No, it's a massive bone structure.
Yeah.
And it's
a spine.
It was a spine. Yeah, it was basically a spine. I deep fried that and fatty bits and a little bit of flesh here and there. But it was delicious, and I had it several times when he would make it. So how about you guys?
Ooh.
You must have eaten some weird shit besides G Fuel ramen.
I haven't opened that yet. I am, however, planning on making power ramen with it.
Oh, okay. I had Rocky Mountain oysters.
Oof.
Oh, I had a bite of a Rocky Mountain oyster.
Where was that?
And then someone told you what it was.
Correct. It was in Nevada when we went with it was like after my graduation from high school, they wanted to do one last family trip, so we went to Vegas.
Yep.
We actually went to the national parks in Nevada,
Gotcha. And that was on a menu at a restaurant?
and in Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
As an appetizer.
Fair enough. What did it taste like?
It was very chewy.
Okay.
And I didn't like the texture.
Like a rubber ball?
Yeah. Well, no, you cut it, obviously. But yeah, it was.
Ow.
I mean, it's like a Scotch egg, kind of.
Oh. I love
Except
Scotch
chewy.
egg. Nice. How about you, Matt?
During a road trip I once did from here down to Florida, we stopped just at one of those really weird, like off the main road kind of local only, doesn't really have assigned diner places.
Mm-hmm.
I had a kangaroo burger.
Ooh.
Yum. Delicious.
How was
which
it?
was really weird. So
Lean?
kangaroo is weird because it's not. Yeah, it's lean.
Yeah.
So it doesn't. Unlike a lot of people say, it doesn't actually taste like chicken. It has a gamey flavor to it, but it's a lot lighter of a gamey flavor compared to something like venison.
Gotcha. Nice. Okay, cool. Well, guys, listeners, if you would like to provide some feedback or praise or just say hi or tell us the weird shit you eat, drop us a letter from beyond on our website at lovecrafttapes.com. And we want to remind you that this show is brought to you in part by you, our generous fans and supporters, on patreon.com/lovecrafttapes. And I think probably next go around here, maybe next week, we'll be able to rattle off those names. So thank you for everybody who has helped us out.
Yes, thank you very much.
And I just paid these guys out for case 13. So
I can't believe we have $7 million.
$7 billion. Billion.
7 trillion is not quite enough, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, before
we re-up your membership.
Yeah, re-up, babies. Before we begin, we need to take a quick commercial break. So, guys, let's roll D100 and see what happens, eh?
Remember what we decided, Jeremy? Matt's going to sell
we're
himself.
Gonna say, Matt's going to do it all by himself.
But then you'd like that, so we decided against it.
Nah, we're not going to do that. All right, so it looks like I am selling to Matt. So, all right, let's do this. I was thinking about this. I want to do... Okay.
You ever had balls?
Yeah, some balls. Okay, yeah. So, okay, here we go. So, excuse me, sir. I got your email, and I'm here to cut down some trees for you. So, why don't you walk me around the property and show me what you got?
Sure, just let me go get my shoes on real quick.
Oh, is it nice?
They have to
Are
have
those
orthopedic
Birkenstocks?
inserts, otherwise I like limp. I lean slightly to one side if they're on the wrong foot.
I can see that your little hobble stuff there, little hitch in your get along.
Well, hobble stuff is what they called me back on stage when I performed.
There's some nice fancy foot gear there you got there. Is that Birkenstock? What is that? Clogs? What is that? Crocs?
It's a combination of all three I put together myself.
What do you call it?
I can't say, otherwise we'd get copyright strike. So
I call them Crogs. What do you think of the term Crogs? I don't think anybody's got that.
That's not a bad one. Maybe I'll stop
It's not
mocking.
Crocs.
You
It's
want a
not
pair?
Crogs. It's it's not the Crudes.
I can whip you up a pair right now if you want
Well,
it.
sure, I wouldn't mind it. Go ahead. Was that a 3D printer you got there? Was that how you make them?
Oh yeah. My grandson set this up for me. I just have to go contact the man at Microsoft. He's the one who makes it go. I have to send him $500 in Google Play gift cards, but he makes it go.
Oh, that's quite a deal you got there. Now, okay, before you type in all the specs and whatnot, would you mind just like leaving a little bit of room for some corns? I got a couple little bumps and nodules on my feet. I'm missing a toe on the left foot.
Oh yeah, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna take your feet off so we can scan them, and then I'll give them right back.
They just screw right off. Go ahead.
All right.
Careful,
So,
don't mind the popping noise.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Mine do that right before it rains.
Oh yeah, speaking of rain, you said you kind of want to get rid of some of these trees around the property before the next rainfall, before the storms come.
Yeah.
They keep blowing around.
Last time we had a big 16-footer just come straight through the bay window. It wasn't
most people pay extra for that. You know what I'm saying? All right. Well, what do you got? Oh, okay. Well, that looks like a couple pines over here. We can take care of those, no problem. That's.
That'd be lovely. I just get rid of them. In my old age, I've just realized that I don't need trees anymore.
Well, how about that birch? I heard that birch is a bitch, so I can get rid of that too.
I mean, they do say that birches love trees.
All right, yeah, well, and a couple oaks over here. Those things can be mighty pesky. They drop the acorns and oof.
No, it's fine. I just put electrified chicken wire on the ground, and that way when the squirrels come around, I have dinner.
Oh, it makes sense. Okay. Just to let you know, I do have a special here. I can take care of all these trees for you, no problem. Now, also, let's say maybe you got some, I don't know, nephews and nieces, maybe a son or daughter. I can also help you prune your family tree. What do you think?
I mean, we do. I have one of my daughters. She's a disappointment all over the place. She graduated top of her class at high school. She went to college on a full ride scholarship, and now she's a neurosurgeon. It's just we can't stand her.
I could take care of it. I'll take her off right at the ankles. That's all you'll have left, just the ankles. And I could shave that down right to the ground for you if you want.
Oh, that'd be great. I use them as a foot model for more of my 3D printed shoes.
Yeah, no problem. I'll take care of that right away. Anything else? Any other people that you want to, family trees can be extended. Like we've evolved from other people so if you don't like, let's say, Italians, take care of all of them. Italians are the worst.
Oh, I have a couple of those. Why don't you come inside? I'll show you how to wear your new shoes, and we can talk about getting rid of them pesky Italians.
All right, no problem. I like the cut of your jib there. You got PayPal, right?
Oh yeah, no, I have PalPay.
PalPay. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Yeah, I'll cut you a deal. I got a coupon here somewhere.
A coupon?
Oh, nothing I love more than a good coupon.
Yeah, we use that from the family tree. We just manufacture it from the flesh. It's got a very nice elasticity, these coupons.
But why don't you just come this way and we can work everything out.
Hey, I'll come whichever way you want. It's fine.
And that was biggest free service.
We're back. Under what circumstances would you personally use that product and or service?
Boy, I probably would ask them to leave right away.
I don't know. I mean, sometimes you got to hear these things out because it could end up, you never know, it could,
About knowing, you know?
Yeah,
Or
you
maybe you
could
have a
know.
power line that's pesky, and
Hey, you know?
Yeah.
and that's how we avoid the hey you.
Yeah.
Well, guys, personally, I would only use that product under service if I had an itch that I couldn't scratch. You know the kind. That little tickle in the middle of your back, in that exact spot where even if you dislocated your shoulder and bent your elbows backward, ligaments snapping like dead tree branches, you still wouldn't be able to reach it. Until this product under service came along, I had to resort to backing up into the nearest wood chipper to get any relief. Added bonus, though, my hemorrhoids are gone. So are my buttocks, gone. No more itch, though. Hashtag worth it.
Ouch.
It's
It's all raw back there. Can you see it? Does it look infected?
Should it
I
be
need
this
some
shade of
ointment.
greenish yellow?
Is this gangrenous?
Is
I
the
need a
pus
moist
supposed to be
ointment.
yellow?
Hey, but it looks good on you. Huh?
Ew.
That's a nice moist gushing pustule you have there.
Thank you. I just
Appreciate
had it
that.
stuffed.
Now, dear investigators,
Yes.
we play Case 14, Tape 4. 1 foot on the platform. Previously on the Lovecraft tapes. Happy days are here again when our investigators of the unknown are reunited in the tunnels and are given a new mystery to solve. Roy clambers from the cold clutches of a stone sarcophagus, unsure of his surroundings, but always willing to roll with the punches. Rocky and Pippa pass the time making up new rules for cribbage until they're given further direction to explore deeper beneath Blaine Manor. Will there be a suitable reward for this dangerous jaunt? Or will the clock tick down until there are mere minutes remaining in the countdown to destiny? Don't
Meerkat
cry, Brian.
minutes?
Don't cry,
Are
Brian.
they
It'll be fine.
meerkat minutes?
Meerkat minutes.
Meerkat. So cute.
Rocky and Pippa.
Yeah.
With a jolt, you awaken in the beds next to Roy's comatose body and sit upright, staring at one another, dressed in the now familiar garb of pajamas decorated with little blue ghosts. Gradually, the fog lifts and the realization drifts back into your mind. Something disrupted the jaunt, propelling you out of Roy's dreamscape. But what? Groggy, you slowly get dressed, trying to make sense of the events that took place only moments before. Had there really been a sub-basement in Blaine Manor? Or was this just another fantasy of the brain fast asleep? In one corner of the lab on the ground floor of his residence, Professor Wingate Peasley busily clatters away on a computer keyboard, seemingly absorbed in some experiment or other. The kitchen door is propped open with an ornate umbrella stand. Beyond, you can smell hickory bacon smoke and hear Danny Potts humming happily to herself as she putters at the stove. Out of one of the nearby windows, you can see Maria Diaz sitting on a wooden bench beneath a gnarled apple tree, reading a thick book in the dwindling sunshine before twilight sets in. All right. You guys can do what you want to do.
All right, I'm gonna lay back down and go to sleep. First, I'm
Or
gonna drink-
converse with yourselves. Too.
Yeah.
That's probably more.
Every
important.
time I come out of there, I hate myself a little more.
If you're not gonna drink your Jolt, can I have it?
Only if I can have your surge.
Well, we woke up with a Jolt, so I'm assuming we each have one.
Oh.
Jolt
I
Cola,
don't know where
folks.
they keep getting these discontinued soft drinks.
Son of a.
Sponsor us, Cola. Wait.
Do you think there really was a sub basement? Or is that just something that's in his mind?
No. You see, when the mind attempts to make sense of something that it doesn't understand, it often puts it in a more familiar context. In this case, as his brain was scrambling to understand where he was and what he was doing, he has obviously spent quite the amount of time in Plain Manor, and so the brain reached back to that familiar setting and adapted it to the current circumstances. Happens all the time in dreams.
So there was a sub basement. Okay. Weird. I'm a little hungry. You want to get some food? I smell something amazing.
It does smell as if someone is cooking in the kitchen.
Excuse me. Let's go see if we can get some grub. Maybe the doctor's in there. We can get an update.
Yeah, maybe you can explain why we got
As I
ejected
mentioned,
from the
the
simulation.
doctor is in the lab with you.
Oh,
currently,
right.
In one corner.
Oh,
typing away at
okay,
a keyboard.
okay.
So each of the three people are in different locations.
But in the same lab.
Excuse me, Professor.
There's the lab, and he's at a computer where you guys are at the far end of that same room.
Okay.
Danny is in the kitchen, which is a completely different room.
Right.
Right.
And then
doors
someone's
propped
outside
open,
reading a book.
and Maria's outside reading a book.
Okay. So I don't think he knows we're out. Let's mess
Excuse
with
me,
it.
Professor.
Oh no, let's mess with him.
Oh, yeah, yes.
I thought we had more time left on that one. What happened?
Oh, yes. Give me a few moments if you wouldn't mind. Feel free to come over if you like, but I need to finish this up. And he clatters away on his keyboard.
Let's go hover. I'm gonna walk over, get off the table.
I'm gonna
My
hover
legs feel
over.
tingly for some reason. When I hit the floor, it feels like I'm not really touching anything. But I get the feeling back and I walk over and just hover over his shoulder while he types, looking at the screen like I know.
How are
he's
you
doing.
floating off the ground like that?
I turn slowly and go, shut it.
Okay, so you go over and hover.
Yep.
Rocky, what are you doing?
I'm going to head over to the kitchen and see what's cooking because I'm hungry.
Okay, great. So we'll take care of Peasley first and Pippa. Professor Peasley seems immersed in a sea of data. Pale gray eyes darting over bifocals at two monitors where one displays a series of numbers in a spreadsheet and the other is a grainy grayscale video that you can't quite make out. Post-it notes are stuck to every conceivable surface with handwritten messages, some of which look to be mathematical formulae, and others just reminders to pick up supplies at the grocery store. To one side of his desk is a small refrigerator upon which is a tray with syringes, sterilized vials, and various first aid materials. Ah, Pippa, welcome back to the land of the living, he says without turning to look at you.
I point over his shoulder at the screen and go, what's that? At the video. The blurry video.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, well, first I need to hear more from you. Please tell me what did you experience in the dreamscape
Well,
during your jaunt?
it was a little bizarre. More bizarre than the first one, surprisingly.
Yes. How so?
Well, we were playing cribbage, but nobody could remember how to play it. Like, I know how to play
Curious,
cribbage,
yes.
But I
It
had
is a complex game, yes.
yeah, but it's not. If you've played it enough. But in his mind, we could not figure out how to play it.
I see. So you're saying that somehow Roy's mindset, his convoluted way of thinking, interrupted the way that you play the rules.
Yes.
Interesting.
And it stunted
I hadn't
our
thought
memory
that.
of how to play it.
I see. And how are you now? Do you remember how to play it now that you're out of the
Cheeseburgers.
Dreamscape? Yes, exactly. Cheese. Okay, yes. We're perfectly on board. Yes.
I'm off to the toilet to get lunch.
I see. Was there anything else other than cribbage?
Now, this seemed more real than the first time we went in, but there was a feeling that there was a sub basement to Blaine Manor.
Yes, I saw that come through the data.
Now, Rocky
yes.
explained it quite well, that that's a place that he spent much of his time, so obviously his mind would go back to that.
Yes.
But it seemed so real, the fact that it opened up underneath the elevator, that it could have been a possibility, another cave system or something underneath
I
the
see. So
existing.
you're not exactly sure if it actually existed.
Correct.
I see. This is very curious. So perhaps Roy is filling in the gaps?
Filling in the gaps, or maybe influencing us to fill in the gaps.
I see. Very curious. Very curious. So here is what we have examined while you were in the jaunt. Now, as you know, the gem helps us as a conduit into allowing you into Roy's dreamscape. Yes?
Right.
Yes. Well, it has also been a way for us to collect data because it emits a series of pulses, and we are able to translate those pulses, through a spatial modeling engine here in my computer. It's quite nice, isn't it? It has 2 monitors, so I am part of the multiple monitor club.
It looks like you need to download some more RAM, though.
Yes, I do. I need to click. No. They told me not to click it. I mustn't click it.
Well, just send them some CVS gift cards, and I'm sure they'll fix it.
Yes, I'm sure you're right. I'll get to that later. But anyways, so through this spatial modeling engine, we are able to convert it into a video. That is what you see here on this monitor. And indeed, you see a grainy grayscale still image. And what we're able to do is record the dream from Roy's point of view. Yes, it's not perfect, and as you can see, the image is quite rudimentary. You know, we're still trying to refine the algorithm to make sure that we can get as much information as possible, but this is early stages, as you know. But I would like to congratulate you, Pippa.
Well, you're welcome.
Because the jaunt this time around was a success, a resounding success. As a matter of fact, you can hear Danny is quite happy. She's been humming the entire time. Once we saw that what had happened when Roy retrieved the gemstone, we recorded that his brain activity spiked.
Ooh.
And we were able to witness his left hand twitching momentarily. Now, this could have been nerves or many other things, but the very fact that it occurred at the exact same moment as when he retrieved the gemstone. Now, I've been talking while you and Rocky were emerging from your slumber. Danny and Maria and I have devised a theory that the gems represent something like pieces of a puzzle. And as he collects these gemstones, he is able somehow, we're not quite certain how yet, to repair his psyche. Does that make sense to you?
It makes sense, yeah.
Does that theory hold water?
Let me go try.
Yes, please do.
Put me under. I'm
not
going
the-
back in.
Not the pee-pee water, but, regular water.
Oh,
like drinking
yes.
water.
Oh,
Maybe if I'm stung by a jellyfish in the dream, you could pee on me, but I heard that doesn't work.
but we could try it.
Yes. So as you can see, we are suitably excited, and thank you for your skills in helping Roy attain this bit of positive reconstruction.
I just hope they can pay the bills.
I know, skills to pay the bills, yes. Well, they may yet. And as such, we must insist that we hold off while we examine more of the data, but at sunrise, we should be able to make another jaunt.
Okay.
If you're up for it.
Anything that we
Are
can
you
do to
feeling
help.
well? Any side effects?
Yeah, I'm very hungry.
Oh, well, Danny is actually making some breakfast for dinner, is how she puts it. I'm not sure of this concept, but I'm a beans and toast kind of gentleman, but
In the toast?
in the toast, yes. Pippa, please make a psychology roll.
About beans and toast?
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Beans and toast, please.
Psychologically.
As I pour a bit of Bordeaux.
That means I did well when I say, God damn it. I needed a 64. I rolled a 92. That's
Nicely done.
fail.
Yes, it is. Would you like that to stand?
Push that. Roll.
Shut your hole. No, I'm good.
Okay,
Spend
so
that. Fuck.
for just a moment,
You're a dump.
he
Oh, come on. You have like
seems
30 points of luck to burn, right?
right. Exactly. You look at his face, and although he is clearly excited about these new developments, he does seem slightly distracted. He keeps glancing toward his keyboard and the monitors, and with his right hand, he's fiddling around with some Post-it notes.
Gross. I'll leave you to it. That's... I'm going to go eat if I can after that. Fiddling your Post-it notes, you sick man. So I'm going to say, I'm going to let him know that I'm going to...
Yes.
Well, I'll leave you to it. Please let us know if you come across any good information. I'm going to go eat.
Oh, yes, of course. Please don't let me keep you. You need your strength for tomorrow, for certain.
Okay.
Please make a spot hidden roll.
There it is.
Can I borrow those Post-it notes for later? Oh, sorry. Wrong one. Doesn't matter.
Nothing's
I
appearing
needed
in the
a-
chat.
Huh?
Nothing is appearing in the chat for me.
Oh, I'm getting it.
I see it.
All right.
I need a 35. I rolled a 44. That's a fail. I accidentally rolled sleight of hand first, so it might
No,
not.
he can't see it, Brian. He rolled a 1. He rolled a 1. That's a good roll.
All right, there we go. I'm going to double click that. No,
You can't see it, Brian. Just make
sorry,
it.
something's up with my
Oh, okay.
chat. I need to reload real quick here.
Gross.
A moment.
With your Post-it notes.
All right, and there we go. Got it. All right, now I see your failures.
Hey,
Your many failures.
that
All right,
was uncalled for.
So you rolled. You needed 35. You rolled a 44.
Correct.
You rolled a
You gonna
1.
let that stand?
You could let it sit.
Yeah, I'm gonna let it stand.
Cool. Okay. So, yep.
I'm a little out of it still from coming out of there, and I'm hungry,
Of
so I'm not
course.
really focusing on
Sure.
much.
Yeah. So you're standing up, getting ready to go into the kitchen, and just before you leave, you're just an oddball thing. You see like the corner of a dry cleaning ticket sticking out from underneath this keyboard. It just strikes you odd among all of the post-it notes and the spreadsheets and the printouts and everything else. Among all that is a dry cleaning ticket. That's all.
That
And
son of a
you
bitch. It's
you
close
head
cleaned.
you head towards the kitchen.
Kitchen.
So where Rocky has already been. So we'll pick up with him.
Nice job.
Hi.
So
Food's
yeah,
gone.
you walk in and Danny is humming and actually kind of dancing in place a little bit. Back to you at the stove and clearly making what appears to be bacon, sizzling in a cast iron pan. And in another pan, looks like scrambled eggs, and there are some tortilla shells nearby. Looks like maybe street taco.
Ooh.
Tortillas.
Tortillas.
I like to say tortillas.
Tortillas?
More
Yeah.
like hurricane
You
tortilla.
want some tortillas? Gonna take a couple of steps into the kitchen towards her. Well, somebody sure seems happy today.
Oh, well, why wouldn't I be? I mean, you guys blew it out of the park. This is great. You guys are the best. And she rushes back over to you and kisses you full on the lips.
Aw.
And then goes straight back to the stove and resumes her dancing and humming. So are you a 2 taco guy or a 3 taco guy?
Gonna stand there for a second and just blank-eyed stare at her.
And she takes no notice. She's like just dancing in place, fixing things, cooking things.
I'll start with 2, I guess. Thank you.
No worries, coming right up. Cheese? You like shredded cheddar on that?
Oh yes, you can't go wrong with
Nice.
cheese on almost anything.
Excellent. And the salsa's already on the table. I'm gonna have a little bit of guac
lovely.
here. I'm mixing up some of my fresh stuff, so I'll have that over here in just a second. Have a seat. Have a seat. What?
Thank you.
So how did things go in there, anyways?
That's the odd thing. It simultaneously felt like we didn't do anything, and yet we accomplished something.
Well, I'll say you did. Oh my God, he moved. He moved.
Oh, baby.
Well, I mean, he was walking around with us, but
No, I mean here he moved. His arm, his hand moved.
really?
Yes.
Hell, I guess that is quite the significant moment.
Well, we seem to think so. Maria
Really?
actually was saying that she thinks it's like, kind of spiritual and she's got like connections and stuff. I think it's a bit more than that. I think it's like, I think there's like spirits. Okay. I think there's like something that's guiding him toward not the light, but actually the light back here. Right. Because, he's not dead. He's not dead.
He's feeling
And
better.
He's feeling better. So, anyways,
It's not dead yet.
my gosh, you guys are amazing, and that's what I had to do. Breakfast tacos. I mean, it's just great. So amazing.
Yes, it's just once we hit once he picked up the stone.
Yes, the gemstone.
It kind of felt like we were just ejected. I really thought we
Oh, yeah,
had more time, but
that's true.
he went through. I remember there was something with a key and a door, and we were holding it something, and he went into a room on his own, and something about he saw and grabbed something, and then we were back in the beds.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it exactly. And you can watch the video. The doc has a video. Like he can video.
There's a video.
Yes, we saw what Roy did. So we have a recording of it, which is incredible.
Wow.
I mean, you could just see his mind is active and alive. Wow. And it's so exciting to see all this, and you're exactly right. He grabbed this gemstone, and when he did, it somehow something happened, and you guys were, I think, according to our clock, you were supposed to be in there for at least another 10 minutes. Usually we have a 90-minute window, but it's not exact science. We're literally trying, like, forging new methods of dream investigation here. And
Yeah.
I don't know whether it was him experiencing that somehow that leaked into or sneaked into your minds and propelled you out of the dream. Did the dream change or just become something else for him? We're still looking at that. I don't know, but it's exciting because he's alive.
Oh yes, I mean, new territory into a whole new scientific endeavor. I just wish I could remember more about that stone.
Yeah,
Still
where
bothers
did you
me
get
that
that thing anyways? I mean, you lent it to the
I
dock.
do not know. I just remember uh, the circus tent was on fire. There was screaming something about stones, and then I woke up and we were all outside. It's blank. I really wish I could remember what it was or where I found it, but I just had it.
Well, you guys really got up to some crazy shenanigans once you left Delta Greens, I must say. It's, I realize it's been a little while and we've had our, our own adventures, but so how are you meshing with Pippa? I mean, she seems to be kind of a wild card. I wasn't expecting that.
Well, I took a bit of integration. I mean, within any established social unit, whenever you try and bring in a new entity, there is an initial bout of resistance to change. But particularly her handiwork with magic seems to repeatedly come up and be helpful to a degree. I mean, I know well enough about the types of dark arts that exist in this world to stay far away from them. So I guess I applaud someone who's either brave or stupid enough to ignore that and go for it.
Nice. Okay. Well, and she brings over a couple tacos and plants them in front of you and has her own plate
Thank you.
in front of her. Actually, she has a plate with just like 2 pieces of plain bacon, and she's munching on them, and she's studying your face very intently. And she says, "You know, you don't look like a lick like your brother. Why is that?"
Long story. Happened before Delta Green.
Oh, I see your mom. Okay. It makes sense. I mean,
No,
maybe it was the
You go,
60s or the
where?
70s and the disco.
not
I
like
don't,
that. It was an
no.
island.
Oh,
Cultists who were attempting to resurrect Dagon, and there was a
oh.
lake at the top of a mountain, and there was a
Was
certain
that a
island that
euphemism?
But we don't like to talk
quite,
about that.
quite literally, there is an island in the Pacific that no longer exists because a bunch of cultists sank it in an attempt to summon an elder god. It didn't go well
Oh,
for
that
anyone,
sounds like
really.
a really bad story from a
There was
guy who was
zombies
maybe
and
making things up on the fly and
a British
just
guy
really
named
didn't.
Stephen Crumpet who had rocket
Oh,
launchers.
well, I've heard of him. So
Whoa.
that makes sense. That makes way more sense than you even imagined. But, I honestly, I don't care. Maybe your mom got no, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Okay. What really matters is that you're doing this for him. That's what really counts. And that's how I know you're a real brother. Now, I'm not so good with, feelings and whatnot, but I do want to let you know that how much I appreciate everything you've done that Roy Arroyo, he's what I like to call a true original. And honestly,
I like to call him truly annoying, but to each their own.
yeah, it's something a brother would say for sure. But honestly, I'm not sure. I want to know what a world without him would be like. Here. She hands you a bronzed mini planchette about the size of a $50.
Ooh.
Ricky gave it to me a long time ago. It's brought me a fair amount of luck. Heck, I doubt I'd even have been able to get away from that monster or climb out of that well if it weren't for this little gizmo. Call me superstitious if you want, but I'm hoping it'll help you bring back Roy.
At this point, I'll take any kind of help I can. So thank you.
So, you may put down in your inventory
Pancetta.
and mini pancetta. It's just a bite. It's really just a bite.
It's like an amuse-bouche.
You may, at any time, change one dice roll during the game. A failure becomes success. A success becomes a hard success. A hard success becomes an extreme success. An extreme success becomes a critical. It's a one-time use.
Okay.
Okay.
And it's only my rolls. I can't extend that to someone else. Okay.
It's your roll only. So use it wisely. And now we are in development phase for you.
Yay!
Oh
So,
boy.
Let's go ahead and take care of you.
Take care of me?
Take care of you. Okay,
Oh.
so first off, obviously, we're going to do some skill check-in. Skill check-in. So we want to, let's open up Rocky here. Rocky. Boom, boom, boom. Character sheet. So everything that you've had checked, you're obviously going to roll D100. And you don't want to, get underneath it.
All right. So first up is my firearms handgun, which is currently sitting at 78.
Holy shit. Yeah, and you got to go over it, honestly. Not equal, but over it.
Yep. Not under it either.
Yep. So
I got
you're
the-
just rolling D100 for these, not the
Okay.
actual skills. Yeah.
All right.
Be easier for you.
Yeah.
I rolled a 15.
So that is not over 78, so you can uncheck that. It will not go up.
Oh.
Yep.
Next up is library use, which currently sits at an 80.
So you need an 81 or better. Oh,
I roll a 9 to 2.
All right, so you're going to increase that by 1d10.
Oh, come on,
Which
10.
means
library
I am
use.
now
Holy shit.
10 points better at library.
Nice.
my library
Good
use up
luck
to a
increasing
90.
that ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, seriously.
That's
But hey, I'll
good.
take it.
Uncheck that. And listen's up next.
It's at a
you need
38.
Need a 39
I'm
or
not
better.
very. It's an Arroyo thing. None of us are very good at listening.
What?
I rolled a 48,
Nice. D10.
so I'm gonna get 6 points better at listening,
Mm-hmm.
which was
Lovely.
a 44.
And just an FYI, if skill attains 90% or more, which your library use just did,
Mhm.
you get to add 2d6 sanity points. Now, let's go. You can add that to your max. Okay. Or I guess actually not max, but hold off on that because
Okay.
we want to do the rest of it first and then
Right.
add that. So let's come back to that.
In case you get another one into the 90
Yes,
range.
exactly.
Bro.
Well, yeah, actually, psychology has a
If I roll well, so my
Opportunity.
psychology is also at an 80. That's a 47, so I'm not any better at psychology,
okay. All right. And finally, spot
And-
hidden.
which is a 62, which would be really great to bump a little. And I rolled an 85, so I do.
Yep.
Nice.
D10.
And I am now 4 points better at spotting the hidden, which puts me at a 66.
Excellent. Okay.
Oh, 3 more to go.
Nice. So we're going to go ahead and move on to gain sanity through self-help. So the key connection For you, this was bad at technology. Boomer. So do we think in case 13 that there was any opportunity for you to advance that or get over your fear of technology?
I don't think so.
I don't think you used any tech, did you?
Yeah, well, it was all the New York stuff.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
don't think there
I
was.
don't think really hit anything to deal with my issues with technology.
Right, and I didn't see anything checked that kind of would farm that out. So I think that's still going to stand, and so we're not going to gain any sanity through that. But you know what? Actually, I did think about this, and I apologize. You guys weren't aware until last time that a year has elapsed. Okay, within that year, I think it's safe to say
Oh, okay.
you would have overcome your key connection. So, what I'd like you to do now is erase your key connection. Okay. And choose a new one. And what I would do is I'd think back to case 13 or even the beginning of this case and choose something that you think would be something that you need to overcome. What was something that you failed last time that would really bother you and that you need to overcome this time?
I know
Oh,
what it
gosh.
is.
What?
What?
Getting in contact with your contacts.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you feel
Everybody you tried to get in contact with to help us with the investigation, nobody picked up, nobody answered, nobody
That's
helped.
true. That's true. So we could say just communication, right? Lack of communication.
Yeah.
That seems reasonable.
Okay. Yeah.
So in your personal description there, you'll see key connection. Go ahead and replace that with failure to communicate. That would be a fun way to put that. Right. What we have here is a failure to communicate. And so what we're going to do is go ahead and say you've advanced beyond the technology thing. Okay.
I'll be right back.
And yeah, go ahead. And so go ahead and make a sanity roll.
I needed a 54. I rolled a 92, so I failed my sanity roll.
So what's going to happen here is you are going to reduce your sanity by 1. Okay.
So that
So
moves me down to 53.
Yep, 53. But now is the point where we can add the 2d6. So go ahead and roll 2d6, and we can at least increase your sanity because of your skill attaining 90%. And you know how to do that, right?
Oh, yeah. I rolled a 12.
Cool. Awesome. So go ahead and increase that to 12. Or
So
by 12.
65.
Yep.
And then, not 655.
What?
I'm really saying.
65.
And then I need to change that starter box. So
Yep.
I know where I'm
Excellent.
starting from.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome. And then we're going to recover some luck. So you want to roll D100.
I have 46 luck as of now. And 46 luck I shall remember.
Yep. So we did not increase that. And finally, we can do credit rating. So roll D100.
Current credit rating is an 88. I rolled a 70.
All right. So if you roll... Okay, so basically it stays the same. All right. And I can show this to you too, so you can see what I'm going off of here. Finally, we're going to do training because you've had ample time to train. And so what you want to do is pick one skill. Actually, D100. Yeah. So pick a skill that you want to train in. That's the first step.
Ooh, there's so many to choose from.
Yeah. What did you do during this year?
Lots of drugs.
Yeah, true. Lots of drugs. What do I got? I'm trying to think back to something that I might have used and
Also,
not
keep in
done.
mind things that you may have been called upon to use and are not well trained in.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. I'm trying to go back in my brain and like, what did I do?
Like investigating. No, just kidding.
Medicine is one. That would be an interesting.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's
Always
at
need
one
that,
on
right?
that.
We always need
I have a
medicine.
49 in first aid.
Yeah, but it never works.
Throw,
Yeah, but
track. You're deficient in those. Electronics.
Or you could write one in, right? Survival
Yep, you can write one in.
would be a good one.
Survival would be an interesting one because it's basically extremes.
Oh, okay.
So you have to kind of figure out, like, am I going to be in an extreme situation?
Right. Demolitions.
But also,
that's
like,
the only
what for role playing? Like, what would Rocky
Yeah.
have spent a year really diving deep into?
you know what? I might put it into my fighting brawl because I'm really great if I have a gun in my hands, but I lose that and I kind of drop off in terms of proficiency.
Okay, roll D100 then.
Come on.
You gotta get
So I need to roll
over a
over
36.
a 36. And I rolled an
Nice.
83.
Nice. So roll D10.
10. 5.
I got a
not bad.
5.
Increase your fighting brawl.
41.
That puts me at 41.
Awesome.
Beauty.
Okay.
Spent some time at the punching bag, just in the other room.
Hey,
just
Nice.
hey, that's Roy.
That's poor Roy. Yeah. He can't do anything about it.
Look, yeah, he can't feel it. He's in a coma.
What's
You
he
can
gonna
probably
do?
feel
Yeah,
it, but
exactly.
he can't fight back.
So at this stage, as you pocket the mini planchette and endure the adoring gaze of Danny, Pippa strolls in, smelling bacon and kind of hungry. And
Kinda.
Danny looks over at you and says, "Oh, hey, Pippa. Maria said she wanted to see you outside."
Oh. Can I steal a piece of bacon?
Of
I'm
course,
so hungry.
there's plenty there in the cast iron. Have at it.
All right. I put my hand in the cast iron and grab all of them.
It's just dripping with grease.
My flesh is melting away as I eat the bacon.
So you
The
pop
flesh adds extra flavor.
It does. But you pop a piece of bacon into your maw,
Yeah.
and it tastes
Come here, Ma.
amazing. Your senses are just attuned beyond the stratosphere. It feels like the very first piece of bacon you've ever tasted.
Nice. I'm gonna nod to Rocky, say, "I'll be right back," and head out to go speak with Diaz under the
There
tree.
you go.
Maria.
No,
So
no,
yeah,
Diaz.
you walk outside, and as you approach Maria, she puts aside the book and puts it in her lap and smiles up at you, looking at you with clearly genuine affection. In fact, her comforting presence radiates love and warmth,
Aw.
tinged perhaps with a touch of mirth in her soulful brown eyes. Huh? "You look so much like your father," she says. "And you have his sense of honor. What you are doing, these jaunts to save Roy, that's something your father would have done for a close friend. Tell me, how are you dealing with the enormity of this responsibility?"
Well, I'm gonna be 100% honest here.
I would expect nothing less.
I didn't even really think of it until you just mentioned that. I just went into a friend needs help and you just go. You don't stop to think about the grand vision of everything. You just keep going until the person you care for is better.
Your father exhibited the same humility.
Did they cut it off?
Yes, they had to. He died.
Oh, God. Oh, Daddy.
Please, sit next to me.
The police?
Please. Don't sit so close to me.
I plop down.
This is the son of the police.
How are you
Whoop.
feeling, I mean, in here?
In your
After
head?
all of this. You need shotgun? You mean take care of it?
We should have shotguns for this job. Well, the first time I kind of, it was kind of an out of body experience. The time before this last time, not the first time, obviously.
Yes.
But and I could make more sense of it. But this time, it felt like stuff that I know, the knowledge that I have, it was pushed aside when we were in on this last one. There were things that I couldn't remember how to do, knowing full well that I know how things worked.
Yes.
So that might be a good sign. I don't know. But that might mean that his mind is coming back and becoming stronger and is
Yes.
taking over the narrative and controlling what's in his mind. Rather than us leading him, he's starting to take over. But it's just a guess. It was very strange to not know how to complete a task that any other day out here in the real world, I would be able to do no problem.
I'm sorry. Have you seen my Depends?
What's happening?
No. Well, Pippa, I want you to know that I feel that what you are doing is noble and worthwhile. And I've seen you, the three of you. You are stronger together. That is why we chose you to complete this unit. There is power in the number 3, the Trinity. Yeah. And at least I feel as though together you complete the circuit. And it isn't only that Roy has found his way through the wilderness of his mind and dreams and nightmares, but that you and Rocky have helped guide him along the right path. And hopefully, eventually, he will return to us. I know that Danny and Professor Peasley are ecstatic over the results of this latest jaunt. And I too feel delighted that there is hope. But we must persevere. And until he is out of this nothingness, this nowheresville, none of us can rest. And I would like to say that your efforts this past year to understand your innate gifts have been impressive. I think you've made great strides toward conquering your fears and exploring the boundaries of your power. And I'm happy to say that the time has come. A look of pride illuminates her face, the laugh lines crinkling around her eyes as she opens the book in her lap and pulls out an unmarked sealed envelope.
Ooh.
She hands it to you with reverence. I hope, and yes, even pray, that this will aid you in your quests.
You want
Well-
what's in the envelope, or do you want to trade it for what's behind door number 1?
Da-da-da-da!
Do. Well, you didn't have to do this, but thank you very much. The words of encouragement and all of your help this past year have made a world of difference. I feel much more in control of who I am and who I want to be.
This makes me happy. Comes
Bacon.
bacon.
It's a $20 gift card to the Tapas restaurant.
It's a free coupon for the bacon in the kitchen.
Like,
And
bacon, how did you know?
she stands from the bench, pats you on the shoulder, and then wanders back into the house, leaving you on the bench with the envelope.
Why'd you put your dirty thong in an envelope?
Why didn't you put the rest? So I'm going to watch her leave. My heart is full. Yeah. And I'm going to, with welled up in my eyes, I'm going to look down and open up the envelope.
With anime eyes, you open the envelope. Yeah. So you open up the envelope, and inside is the final power word for the spell that you have been practicing this past year with Maria's assistance. And I have selected for you, I will share it with you now, the same spell that she used and allowed Roy to use during case 13. And I'm going to edit this and put it in your journal. This is, I guess you don't need to.
Your life.
This is Bless Blade.
Bless Blade.
Yes. It costs 5 power.
Okay.
1d4 sanity points.
Am I putting this in or?
It takes an hour to cast. I've shared it with you as a handout, so you don't need to.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
It takes an hour, but it creates a blade capable of damaging or killing entities that cannot be harmed by mundane weapons. It requires the blood sacrifice of an animal at least size 50. Oh. The blade of the knife must be an elemental metal such as iron or silver. The blade may be of any size, however, larger blades do greater damage. If the blade is broken, melted, or otherwise damaged, it permanently loses the ability. So essentially, it's like you get a blade, which we assume that you already have one in your possession, and it's already been given the animal sacrifice.
Okay.
And essentially, you just it is imbued as soon as you do this power word. This will belong to you as a weapon.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. So you have all the necessary details there. And this will be like, so it'll be up to you later to determine, and maybe you can use the off time to think about this.
Yeah.
You know, what is that blade? Is it a dagger? Is it a hatchet? Is it a sword? Is it the blade? Could be anything. So and each of those things does different damage. So you got to figure out, like, what does Pippa, what would she be able to wield, and what would she prefer to wield, and that is now imbued with the power to. So all of those entities that you've been fighting that have like armor and stuff, this would cut through that.
Nice.
Okay. So
now, would that be fighting brawl, or would that be totally separate?
This is going to be fighting brawl. That any type of weapon is fighting brawl.
Yep. So I gotta get that up higher.
Nice thought, Crocy, but I don't think a dildo counts as a blade.
It does
It
if
might
you
be.
use it
It might
right.
be. Yeah, exactly.
This is my iron dildo.
Captain
Whoa,
Dildo.
whoa, wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Okay, so and now we are in development phase for Pippa. So let's go ahead and take
Yay!
care of this.
I accidentally
Uh,
X'd out of the sheet you had up for him.
Nah, it's
Sorry.
fine. I can show it again. There you go.
Thank you. Oops, I X'd out of it again. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, you can always scroll down and access it down
Okay.
below if you need to. So, yeah, we need to do skill checks right off the bat.
I have a whole 3 of them.
Yeah, I know you
Failed a lot.
yeah failed a lot. Well, failed a lot. Yeah. Okay. So first aid is your first guy. So you want to get over a 51 on D100. So roll a
D
D100.
Hundy. Yes! I rolled a 7.
Okay, so that's failure. You can uncheck that. Next up is listen. You need a 41 or better.
What? Yes! 24.
Spot hidden is your final one, and that is going to be a 36 or more.
Hey!
Boom. Roll
I got a
D-
56. Darn
Roll
it.
D10.
10.
10.
Oh, I rolled a 10.
Spot
Look,
hidden is
see,
now
I did
45.
that just for you, Brian.
Thank
see
you.
how I did that?
After the rest of the fails, that was good.
Nicely done.
I was saving the good stuff for the end.
Okay, so you're at 45. There you go. So your key connection is in phobias and mania,
Yes.
and it is currently rats. So we're going to get rid of rats.
Okay.
Or it's
So
actually
spell
rats and spell
failure.
failure. Get
Yeah.
rid of both of those
Okay.
because you have actually easily gotten rid of those.
Yeah.
And we need to pick a new key connection for you. So
Okay.
think about case 13 and New York.
Okay.
What was something that you failed at that you regret? Maybe didn't do so well at? What was something that didn't work out for you in case 13? Matt, feel free to jump in if you can think of anything that Pippa didn't quite accomplish.
I was thinking not being able to spot that Tomislav was an agent, a double agent type.
That's true.
So maybe
You know what I
something
mean?
with trust
I
issues?
thought I could trust him 100%.
So trust issues.
We played cribbish,
Yeah.
for Pete's sake.
Well, actually, you actually
drink sweet
pursued
potato
him
vodka.
a bit too.
Right. Yeah.
So I would say, yeah, trust issues seems like a really good way to go. So go ahead and change that. And
Trust.
so we're going to go ahead and say that you did do the self-help. So you're going to go ahead and roll sanity.
Roll my actual sanity.
Actual
Yes.
sanity, baby.
All right.
Just hit that button.
I need a 67 and rolled an 86.
All right. So you failed it and you went over. So you're going to decrease your sanity by 1.
Can I put it up by 2 instead? It would have been 69.
Right? 69.
Nice.
Okay, so now you need to roll D100.
I can do that. I rolled
Hey.
a 60.
And you need over your current luck, which is 39. So go ahead and roll D10.
10?
2.
So your luck's
That's
going
okay.
up to 41.
I'll take it.
Every little bit counts, man.
That's right.
Now you have 40 points of
And
luck you can spend.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll D100 for your credit rating.
Credit. 7.
Okay, you need a 66, so no go there.
Close though.
And then finally, training. So you get to pick one skill,
Yes.
and
I already know which one.
yeah, which one are you going to do?
Fight brawl.
Okay, so you're going to go fight brawl. You need to roll D100 and get over fight brawl currently.
Over 25. Come on. Yell at Matt.
26?
You son of a bitch. I got a 2.
All right, so your training did not result
Stop,
in better
stop
fight brawl.
burning all your good rolls on the frickin' development. Come on, man.
All right, so we are done with development phases.
Cool.
Okay, so the rest of the evening, we're going to kind of accelerate things here because we're already at hour 11.
Yeah.
So basically, the 5 of you reconvene to the kitchen and enjoy a very nice dinner prepared by breakfast for dinner prepared by
Nice.
Danny.
Love
And
it.
everyone is in just great spirits because you've made progress. You've had a great meal, and each of you has had personal goals achieved, right? And you feel very positive and excited about tomorrow's jaunt at sunrise. Okay. So you have the option currently to, once the meal is done, is there anything you want to do before we go to sleep? We'll lay that out there.
What's the time frame? Just out of curiosity.
Time frame or time?
Or what's the
what time is it?
Yeah.
So it was twilight when you were talking with Maria. So
Okay.
let's say it's 9 o'clock by the time you guys roll out.
Okay.
9, 10.
And it's what time of year?
This is going to be 1 year later. So we are
Okay.
currently, it is July 27th,
Nice. I am going to
2023.
just go for a early evening walk outside around the grounds before I go to bed. Get some fresh air.
Sure.
Get those allergies all up in there so I can't sleep all night.
100%. Yeah. Rocky, anything unusual? You want to check out?
I'm going to spend some time just sitting at the machine, just kind of intensely staring at that gem, trying as hard as I can to remember what it is, where it came from, how I got it, anything like that.
Great.
Like it.
Right. So at a certain point, Maria and Danny excuse themselves and basically are working in a separate room, apparently on some data that was collected. You're not quite sure. Pippa, you're able to wander the grounds, and it's a beautiful Arkham property. Particularly in July, like things are still in bloom. The apples are on the tree, and it's warm out, and it's a bit humid. You can actually see that there's probably going to be a bit of a squall during the night.
Yeah, lightning bugs.
Lightning bugs everywhere.
They love it right before a storm.
Crickets are just sing-songing through the air, and
shut up.
Rocky, you are spending time in the lab taking a peek at that curious gemstone, that obsidian gemstone.
Rub it.
And before too long, just shortly before or shortly after you sit down and start contemplating it, Professor Peasley mumbles something about having to grade some papers or something, summer school at Miskatonic, and he excuses himself and bids you good night and leaves the property.
To Rocky, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
You're outside.
Right.
Yep.
That's you, Matt.
Yep. So basically, you guys can do whatever you want at this point, knowing those things have changed, and you.
I'm gonna book a flight to Paris. Then, if we can do whatever we want,
you can do. Honestly, you can do.
I'm gonna go win the lottery.
Wait a minute.
I'm just gonna kind of continue to intensely stare and ponder at the gem until I just pass out and fall asleep in front of it.
Nice. On the gem.
Nicely done.
My face is burning.
You do know that at this stage, memory is seeped back in that.
Yep.
You don't necessarily need to sleep in the beds that are provided right next to Roy, unless you want to. But there are also bedrooms upstairs because this is an expansive professor's house, and it's old, and they have bedrooms upstairs for you if you like. So totally up to you.
Rocky cuddles up next to Roy on his own bed.
that's an option for sure. So
Scoots
let me know what your options or what are you doing right now.
I'm going to finish my walk, and I already scoped out a room and put some of my belongings in it.
Yep, you're all settled in there. You've obviously spent time in that room previously. Yeah. You just sort of didn't remember that you did.
I'm going to take a shower and kind of just sit on the bed and let everything sink in.
Okay, great. Awesome. Rocky, anything else other than curl up next to Roy?
No. That's about it. Still
Head to
really
head or
interested
head
in
to
that
feet?
gem.
Awesome. So you settled down for the evening, and despite having technically slept during the jaunt, that short nap did not make a dent in your exhaustion. There are nights when your mind picks at the edges of thought, like a cat worrying a chew toy. But tonight, every distraction seems to be sucked down into a whirlpool of sticky midnight sap that clutches at the corners of anxiety, rationale, and desire, pulling you inexorably into the dripping chasm of dream. So let's start with Rocky. What is your dream? What are we dreaming about?
Starts back in that cavern under the subway. Lights on, stone coffin, Roy lying inside. And down one end of the tunnel, you can kind of hear what sounds like almost a laughing, like just somebody cackling to themselves in the distance. And
And
I'm
and
start
and I'll add to that scenario that the chamber that you're in is lined with sarcophaguses in the walls. There are these alcoves with skulls in them. And above Roy is a looming statue, a head of a hyena, a jackal.
gonna go over and take a minute to closely examine the sarcophagus that Roy is in and the statue that is presiding over him. And then once again, there's going to be that laughter from that tunnel.
Yes.
And I'm going to turn and start walking towards it. But the closer I get to that tunnel, almost a dull green glow kind of covers that entrance. And the closer I get to that, the brighter that green glow gets, until the point where I'm standing right next to it and I can barely keep my eyes open. And as hard as I try to push past that glow to find what's behind it, it's like a solid wall. And I'm just standing there pounding on it, wincing from the bright light, trying to get through to find what's on the other side, because I know it's important. I need to know what it is. I need to find that information, but it either my brain or something else out there is physically blocking me from being able to access that part of my mind. And I'm standing there just wailing on this thing, and I can feel, the bones in my hands start breaking. I'm pounding so hard against this thing. And I can feel, my hands giving up and my arms, giving up. And I just kind of slump down and fall backwards. And the second my head hits the floor of the cavern, I jolt awake next to Roy, still sitting by him, right next to that gemstone.
And the laughter resounds in your memory, this echoing, trailing hyena laugh. And you realize that the green portal that you were pounding and pounding against felt like one of the hatches in the ship where you and Roy were stranded. The ghost ship before you had to fight Dagon. The duality, the doppelgangers, the cold metal of a hatch that would not open despite the encroaching zombie horde behind.
You're saying it was a duality dungeon.
Duality dungeon, yeah. Please roll sand. Please roll sanity.
The scent of smoker's cough.
Rolling for sand.
wafted through the air.
I mean, it's coarse and rough and irritating and gets everywhere. I needed a 65. I rolled a 77. That's a failure.
Okay. Thank you. Pippa.
I didn't do it.
Tell me about your dream.
Well, it all started. I find myself back sitting at the table in the sub basement, not the sub basement, but the sub basement of Blaine Manor, with a cribbage board in front of me. But I know how to play. It's clear to me. So I look up from the cribbage board, and Roy's right across from me. It's obviously not my turn. He's concentrating on his move. But without moving his mouth, I hear clear as day his voice saying, "Why are you guys in my head? Why are you in here?" That shocks me so much, I actually stand and back up. And I'm in the elevator, and it's going up. And as soon as it gets to the top, the loudest dinging sound jolts me awake, and I drink all of the Jolt cola.
So we'll say that when you reach the top of the elevator, a loud ding resounds. The doors scrape open, and Roy is standing directly in front of you, despite the fact that you left him far, far below. And he is holding in his arms a black cat, stroking it gently underneath the chin. And he says, "I have the kitty." And then the elevator plummets down. It's almost as if the cable has snapped, and you clutch the ground of the car, waiting for the eventual inevitable impact. You're traveling so fast that the hairs on the back of your neck seem to be standing straight up. And yet you continue faster and faster. You clutch and scrabble at the guardrails inside the cable car, the elevator car, dreading the moment when the crash will occur. And you think, we're in the basement now. Now we're in the sub-basement. Now we're in the sub-basement. And it continues and continues. And slowly, your dread dissipates, because you realize there is no bottom. And it's at that moment of realization you awaken.
And drink my Jolt cola.
The next morning, I apologize. Pippa, please roll sanity.
No, the next morning you said that the joke cola tasted great and I slept wonderfully.
Roll for sand.
Hey, needed a 66. I got a 98. That's a fail on every roll tonight.
Except for the first one. The dex
Nope.
roll was fine. Oh, no, that was the other one. The other scenario.
I mean, you got a 10 on one of your skill improvements, so technically that
that's
was
true.
a.
It's true.
That's true.
All
That's
right.
what matters. So I got to take a point off?
No,
Oh, 10
I'll let you know later how that impacts you.
Oh.
The next morning, you find yourselves dressed in the usual spooky pajamas, nestled in the same lab beds next to Roy, but feeling slightly uneasy. After those rolls, I can see why.
Oh.
Danny and Maria are out running errands, so their absence might be contributing to your nervousness, though Professor Peasley is attentive, warm, and conversational. With breakfast, you took a little blue pill, just a standard over-the-counter sleep aid meant to relax your body. It's kicking in now as Peasley administers the injections, then fits the wire braces to your skull. You both seem tense. Does this jaunt worry you? He asks.
Just a little bit of some weird dreams last night.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Anything unusual?
No, I think it just the experience of not being in control as much as I'm used to in the
Yes.
last jaunt. I think that that got my mind working, so I didn't get the best night's sleep.
Completely understandable. I don't tell many people this, but I do have this recurring dream that I am running through a field.
Are you wearing pants?
I am, well,
Your pants.
Currently, yes.
Don't look down.
But I have this absurd but concrete certainty that I can fly. And in this field, I begin running. I run as faster than I've ever gone, even when I was much younger, of course, many decades. Anyways. And at a certain point, I am able to achieve flight. I really chalk this up to a case of mind over matter, of course, but in the dream, I believe all things can be possible with the correct application of will. Does that make sense to you?
It does, yes.
Yes, good. Well,
Mind over matter.
yes, essentially, yes. Of course, I want you to be as relaxed as you can be as you go into this next jaunt, but
Yeah, the pill helped a lot. I'm feeling pretty good.
yes, it's quite good. It's actually I couldn't afford the good stuff, so it's the generic variety. For you, nothing but
Why
the best.
did I have to take Viagra again?
It's a little blue pill. It's if you sleep more than 4 to 6 hours,
Rigidly.
stiffly
Sleeping.
sleeping. All right then, Pippa. Rocky, are you all set? Are you feeling fine?
Are you stiff?
Oh, I have years of bottled up trauma. Take your pick.
I see. Well, I saw that you were sleeping next to your brother last night, and I'm sure that he appreciates it. Perhaps not.
Obviously, you haven't spent a whole lot of time with Roy.
All right, then. Well, I believe the time is upon us. Each of you, please make a psychology roll.
Okay.
I needed an 80. I rolled a 53. That is a success.
3, 2, 1. Oh, I need a 64. I rolled a 57. I got a success, everybody.
Nicely done.
I'm going to change my roll to a failure. Wait, no, that's not.
Wait, what? How is that even possible? All right. Good job, guys. You feel your limbs grow heavy, eyelids drooping, and thoughts flitting through your head like laundry on a clothesline, whipping in a wind that's getting stronger, more intense. Then it is as if you too are consumed by the maelstrom, disassembling all of your constituent parts, seeping into the eye of the storm, being pulled through to... Please roll intelligence.
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 Oh my God, baby Jesus. I need a 75 and rolled a 93.
Oof, ouch, owie, your bones. I needed a 60. I rolled a 33. That's a success.
All right. Pippa.
Hmm.
With a bone-jarring thud.
You're dead. That's it. You're gone. Start a new character.
I already started one. He's from the 1920s.
Yeah. With a bone-jarring thud, your feet hit a creaking wooden floor. There is the tickling sensation of dust in your nostrils, reeking of old cardboard boxes and books swollen with damp rot. Equilibrium returns much more quickly than past jaunts, and you're able to open your eyes without any disorientation. It appears you're in some kind of storage space, dim except for ghostly moonlight shining through a skylight above. After a moment, you realize it's an attic,
Oh.
populated by cobwebbed clothes hanging from rusty hangers, discarded broken toys, storage bins overflowing with cracked dishes, and piles upon piles of forgotten tomes whose titles have long been erased. Furtive movement in the shadows makes you wonder how many spiders might be nesting up here.
Mm-hmm.
Drawing breath, you turn to Rocky. Oh no. It can't be. You stare around the room and shiver with sickening recognition. This attic is all too familiar. And though you know it to be a product of Roy's imagination, you can't help but feel the same sense of dread you felt when you'd last been here. This is the attic in Poe Manse. Almost as if on cue, you hear a burbling query echo from the darkness. The voice of a child, but one that might have been drowned in a boggy swamp. Please help us. He keeps us here. Always. And then you see them. Parodies of the girls you rescued back in Providence. Tiny humanoid figures swathed in blood-red thread. Shambling, hurrying toward you from the alcoves to the north, east, and south. 3 sisters trapped in a fatalistic nightmare, arms outstretched in eager welcome. Tune in next time as we play another reel of the Lovecraft tapes. All right, guys. Thoughts, theories? Spit it out.
Little kids?
I don't think those kids are real, Brian.
What's real?
Yeah,
Really?
exactly.
What
Huh?
is reality?
What is reality?
What engrams do you have? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, this will be
Yeah,
interesting because Pippa's has not been
Yeah.
in this location.
I don't know what this
so
is.
She's going to be completely caught off guard.
Yep. So get ready for a buttload of questions.
Rocky's
I'm
got a
unloading
bit
it
more
right
of a,
now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Watch out for.
Oh boy,
Sewing
here I go
machine.
shooting
Any
things
other
again.
any other inklings, any suspicions, anything that happened during this episode that might have given you pause or made you think beyond what is apparent?
The only thing I keep coming back to is the lack of the loss of a little bit of that control of knowing everything that I know outside, not knowing inside. So
You had to make a lot of secret rolls this time around
yeah,
that seemed to have no apparent or immediate effect.
yeah. But they all failed, so I can count on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pippa, you had some interactions with Professor Wingate Peasley that were slightly odd. Any thoughts there?
Oh, I didn't at the time coming out of that wouldn't have considered it odd. Just a man that's focused on his work.
But you as a player.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Why'd you say Pippa then?
I
Not
said
Brian.
I said Pippa had interactions. What do you think?
I don't know. I don't. Obviously, it's steered a little bit in that direction of the
He seemed
claims ticket.
distracted.
Yeah. Distracted by his
Dry
work. He
cleaning.
wanted to get back to the work.
By distracting. Nice.
Right? Yeah. He got to pick up his dry cleaning.
So
Grade some papers.
Papers on dry cleaning.
I honestly didn't pick up anything other than the ticket underneath, and that he was distracted by the work and was pulling away to focus on that instead of talking with me, which is fine because after that big breakthrough, I would expect him to want to analyze everything
okay.
and go through everything.
Awesome. So Danny seemed to be pretty enamored of Rocky's efforts.
Ooh.
What do you think she's got?
Eyebrows.
What like obviously her smooch on you was very platonic.
Yeah.
However, her
Tongue was not.
Her feelings towards Rocky or Roy seemed to be a bit more pointed.
There it is.
She roll for feelings.
What do you make of that?
All the feels. Hurry up, Rocky.
I mean, it kind of makes me question if she's doing this because she is legitimately interested in what's going on, or if she's doing it out of some twisted sense of compassion for Roy. other than maybe having some kind of connection to the paranormal or paracausality, which is what she specializes in, this is way outside of her normal field of study. So what is she doing here?
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that seems to connect is the fact that she has some sort of infatuation with Roy.
And I
So it's
will
like, is she
also
doing it for
add,
her, or is she doing it for him?
right. I will also add that in the previous episode with the two of you guys, the professor did mention that, Maria provides a spiritual
Mm-hmm.
guidance and advice, and uh, Danny provides the more sort of uh, I guess not electrical, but sort of engineering capabilities. So she has some hard skills that he does not possess. He's
Oh,
more
got you.
medicine. Danny is more like how do
Technical.
we like a little bit more scientific as far as like how do we take this supernatural thing and utilize it
Right.
in a real world sense. And
Yeah.
you guys, or at least Rocky knows that from
Right.
the Haunted Heart episode,
With the
because
doll and
yes,
stuff.
Danny was much more into gizmos and things like
Mm-hmm,
that.
mm-hmm.
Both her and Ricky were, although she was more the sort of gizmo kind of person. So
Right.
the Egon, if you will.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I think that's good, guys. So now it is time for hashtag Recommendos, where we share some of our geeky obsessions. Please roll D100. Oh, yeah, bitch.
65.
Oh, yeah. Love
18.
it. 73. So I'm going first. Matt's next. And Brian is going to follow. So I will begin us out with my recommendo. And I will admit, I'm happy to admit, that after the heyday of 1980s horror movies, at the height of practical effects, followed by the onslaught of shitty CGI in the 1990s, I kind of fell out of love with the spoopy genre.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. I moved on to indie flicks and more mainstream fare. As such, I missed out on a couple gems from that decade.
Hmm.
One of those was 1994's Mosquito, directed by Gary Jones and starring Gunnar Hansen, Ron Ashton, Steve Dixon, and Rachel Louiselle. Not to mention some guy named Kenny Mugwump,
Ooh.
which is surely a pseudonym of epic proportions.
Uh-huh.
The plot is simple. A spaceship crash lands on Earth, a la Night of the Creeps, of course, and mosquitoes drink dead alien blood, making them gigantic mosquitoes that now attack humans, as you do.
Oh.
A gaggle of survivors fight off the flying critters and end up in a farmhouse last stand situation, a la Night of the Living Dead. That's the story in a nutshell. But make no mistake, this is a comedy.
Hmm.
Acting is over the top, purposely so. Yet the characters are given a fair degree of pathos and empathy. Camera work demonstrates some skill and the direction's fine. The effects, however, are the perfect intersection between the 80s and the 90s. There are fun mosquito puppets, gooey corpses drained of life, but also ridiculous Birdemic style digital renderings of the swarms. Yeah, you got both things there. If the movie had taken itself seriously, this just wouldn't work. But luckily, they shove tongue firmly in cheek and just have fun with it. Mosquito is a dumb, good time if you don't get too hung up on the details. And hand on heart, it was filmed in our home state of Michigan,
Yay.
where, let's be honest, mosquitoes No laughing matter. So check it out. Mosquito, I recommend it for a really dumb, fun time.
Nice.
Yep. I'm actually a little bit sad that I watched it by myself and not as part of our Monday night movies.
That would have been fun.
Yeah, it's that good. So, all right. Moving on, Matt, grace us with your pick.
Oh boy! So you remember that that carefree time back in before COVID was a thing. Back when people would get together with groups and their friends, and they'd go out and do things, and there was the emergence of this exploding trend called escape rooms, where you and your friends would be locked inside a space and have to solve a series of complex puzzles working together to try and get out before the time runs out. Well, I mean, those probably aren't a thing anymore. But I have the next best thing, which is a simulation. Escape Simulator is a multiplayer or single player co-op puzzle game built around the idea of being a virtual recreation of the escape room. So it comes down to you either by yourself or with your friends solving a series of interconnected puzzles in different settings and different themes. The game comes preloaded with stuff that, of course, the developers made, and there's like an ancient Egypt themed set of rooms. There's like a space themed set of rooms. There's like a haunted mansion themed set of rooms, and each of these are 5 or 6 rooms each, and each room itself has several interconnected puzzles. So it very quickly goes back to what it does and what it's designed to do very well, which is to simulate that group puzzle solving experience of, you are trying to figure out what this means, and your friend is on the other side of the room looking at it, oh, I have a number lock over here. Oh, look, there's something on the back of this. And it just falls really quickly into that really awesome, like, rhythm of working together with a group of people to solve a puzzle. And it's a lot of fun. I've been playing quite a bit with some of our friends on our Discord. I've been playing with Atulia and playing some with Chiru, and we have a really good time because it's just so well designed, and you can do some things in video game space that you can't do in meat space that really kind of help add variety and excitement to some of the puzzles. Along with coming packed with a good set of pre-made rooms, there is extensive developer support for the Steam Workshop. So you have a whole huge slew of community-made rooms, and they do their best to kind of curate those and point you towards ones that, the developers really love. And every month they put up a new list of like featured community rooms. So even after you finish the stuff that's there, you can dive into this laundry list of community fan-made stuff that is, in some cases, just as good, if not slightly more well-designed than some of the stuff the developers have done. So if you're looking for that old-time escape room experience, the getting together and, solving puzzles with friends and just having a really good time, Escape Simulator is going to be where you want to go.
Nice. I will say that I really miss tickle fights.
Yeah.
Good old-fashioned tickle fights, folks.
And pillow tickle fights.
Pillow tickle fights.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Matt. And Brian, close us out, bud.
I can't do it. I miss pillow fights.
I know, so badly.
I'm going to recommend a show that is so full of nostalgia for me that I might just watch it all again.
Stranger Things.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's it.
He's ruined his recommendo, Jeremy. How do you feel?
I might pee your pants. I'm going to recommend Picard. And that's all I have to say about that. Growing up, I absolutely loved Star Trek. Maybe not the original episodes so much, being a younger kid. I appreciate them more now that I'm older. But definitely The Next Generation got me hooked on science. and science fiction. And watching Picard, my first thought was Patrick Stewart is amazing, of course. He's Captain Picard. But he's up there in years, and would he be able to pull a whole show by himself? And without a doubt, he still has every ounce of vigor that he had when he was the captain of the Enterprise 30 years ago. All the adventures and everything that has happened throughout his career comes to a point in the 2 seasons that are currently out on Paramount. And the one thing that absolutely blew me away was Jackass. Was
It was
all of-
Jackass?
Yes. So I'm going to recommend Jackass 3.
3D. Oh.
Was that throughout the 2 seasons, you actually got to revisit with the original characters from Star Trek: The Next Generation. They actually brought back all of the actors, whether they were large or small roles. It didn't matter. They brought everybody back that was in the original series that pertained to this story, of course. Not everybody, but and I'm not going to ruin it for anybody, but my favorite parts growing up of Star Trek, which I think was on for 9 seasons or 11, I can't remember anyway, was I always loved it when Q was in it, just because those were wacky and anything could happen. So it kind of took the seriousness of the science that was always an underlying tone on their episodes to fantasy and craziness, and anything could happen, and it was just you couldn't guess where it was going to go. And the Borg, of course, were fantastic. So, oh my god, it's one of 2. So definitely recommend checking out Picard. Obviously, you can tell I'm passionate about it. I really enjoyed it. Very well done, very well made, and I'm sure they're going to do a 3rd season, but I just have the 1 week trial pass for Paramount, so I got it jammed all in there in the 1 week. So check it out, Picard. It's on Paramount, but I think you can get it elsewhere. You just probably would have to rent the episodes or purchase the season. So thank you.
All right.
Live long and prosper.
Horspur. Purpose. All right. Well, guys, that's it for this episode of the Lovecraft Tapes. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you prefer. If you like what you hear, please leave us a review. Meanwhile, you can find us at lovecrafttapes.com with links to all our hashtag recommendos and social media channels, including Reddit, YouTube, and our Discord server, where you can chat with us in real time. We do lots of chatting, you know what I'm saying? So it all hang out, baby.
Some of us
You can
do.
find me on Twitter at Lovecraft Tapes.
And if anybody happens to know somebody who studies strange green-ish obsidian out-of-pocket dimension gemstones for a living, and they want to help me out, tell them to hit me up on Twitter at @TheRealWeirdKid.
Hey, if anybody can hook me up with some Jolt Cola 6-pack, I don't care, maybe a case, reach out to me at Brian Podcast on Twitter, but Discord would be easier.
Until next time, roll 4. She blinded me with science.
Blinded me with science.
And Jolt Cola.
And Jolt Cola, baby. All right. Guys, thank you for sticking with us for so late. It is 1:45.
Sorry about that.
It happens.
And we got this shit done. That's what we do. We like to get shit done. Hopefully you enjoyed the Alone Against the Flames, and we will see you next week with Gabe. Now with more Gabe. 100% more Gabe.
The Matt and Gabe show will return next week.
Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. All right. Thanks, guys.